on the computer.
All right, everybody. Welcome to College Sweethearts Podcast. We're your hosts, Elizabeth Nerich and Alex Barra. This is a podcast where we talk about whatever the fuck we want. We fell in deep platonic love at the San Francisco Comedy College. Thank you, Kurtis Matthews. We've never met in the physical world, but maybe once we're vaccinated. Let's get into it, shall we? How you doing today, Elizabeth?
I'm feeling good. I love whenever anyone talks about vaccination.
Ooh.
It's like my hot topic.
Ooh, it's a safe word.
Yeah. Ooh, baby.
Vaccination. Vaccinate me, baby. Also, did you see hot topic, hot goss? I wish you still lived in the marina. San Francisco is planning to vaccinate all of its residents by 6:30.
You know, well, first of all, I got really excited because I was like, oh shit, it's 5:57 p.m. 6:30 is a very
close.
Yeah. I was like, that's a lofty goal. I'm more of a we'll believe it when we see it. I don't know. I can't get excited.
Well, you don't live in the city anymore, bitch. So
I know. I'm the dark cloud coming in from the suburbs.
But you know what? I'm like excited because like it's given me a date that I have to look good by, right?
Oh.
Not that I already don't look good because I've definitely like put in a lot of work, but like now it gives me more of like a, okay, Al, like you need to start eating, right? You need to start like actually like losing weight and shit. Like you're gonna be vaccinated and then you can go out and conquer. Because that's my plan. I'm cocooning right now. And then I'm just gonna go out and like just find all of the ladies after quarantine is over. But speaking of ladies, loving ladies, and things that me and you both have a vested interest in, brings us up to our first topic, that the one and only JoJo Siwa has come out as queer.
My favorite unproblematic TikTok celebrity, honestly. I stan JoJo Siwa so hard.
You know, Elizabeth DM'd me today and was like, oh my God, did you see the JoJo drama? And like the first thing that I thought about was like JoJo from like our youth, like leave, get out. Like, and I was like, how is JoJo like stirring up drama in 2021? And she was like, no, JoJo Siwa. And I was like, oh. Okay.
I think I've fully adapted to Gen Z. I don't think that they've accepted me. Like they don't realize that I'm amongst their myths. But which is a very hard word for a Long Island queen to say.
I can't say it.
Myths. But I have infiltrated the Gen Z world and I really want to be part of that generation and I'm ready to give up being a millennial.
Part of that world.
Maybe you could join JoJo Siwa in like a duet.
Yeah, so like I'm not as familiar with her.
Wait, so do you know how she got famous?
No, she just looks like a child.
Well, yes. So
yeah, go on.
Yeah. So do you remember a little show called Dance Moms?
Yes.
With the like very scary Abby something or other who went to jail.
Abby Miller, baby.
Yes. Who went to jail for like doing something. I can't even keep up, but she went to jail and then now like everyone, I don't know, but she was a bitch to all these little tiny kids. And JoJo Siwa was on the show and she was on the show too with like a bunch of other really famous like dancers, right?
Yeah.
And she was really good. There's like this a fab scene where I don't even know, like, but Abby screams at her and she starts crying and Abby's like, stop crying. And then JoJo Siwa like looks at her and she's like, if you're gonna yell at me, I'm gonna cry. And I have never felt so connected to a human, especially like a toddler. And then JoJo left Dance Moms because like who wants the toxicity?
No, we don't need that.
And yeah, she's like really blowing up. Like Northwest loves her. She has like a YouTube channel. She has merch. She does like concerts for kids. And I think one of the things, and I told you this in the text message, you were like, I wonder how it'll impact her career. And I was like, I think it'll be fab for her career. Because one of the critiques she always gets is like, oh my God, you're like 12. like, what's wrong with you? And it's because she like wears glitter and plays dress up and like does like a lot of fun, unproblematic shit.
Wait, okay, so how old is she?
Jojo Siwa, I think she's 19. Hold on, we're going to.
But like, why? Here's my thing. Like, why is she hanging out with like the little Kardashians, like Mason and North? Like,
I'm
that's
sorry,
weird
she's
to me.
17.
She's 17.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's amazing for her.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
she's hanging.
Yeah.
I think she's hanging out with them because she's just like famous. Like she's like a child's entertainer because she does like children's shows. That's what her concerts are. They're like children's shows. They're not like regular concerts.
So she's like Raffi in our equivalent.
I don't know who Raffi is.
You don't know who Raffi is?
I didn't have a really great childhood.
Oh, word. Okay. All right. So let's take it back, right? Raffi was this older man who came out with his guitar and he would have concerts for all of the young children. And one of his hit songs was Baby Beluga. You never heard that one, Elizabeth?
I know Baby Shark.
Oh, well, that's because it's Gen Z, but that's why you know it.
I've wiped out all my memories of being a millennial. I don't even, what was 9/11? I was there.
Right? But like, so that's okay. So that kind of puts it in perspective. I'm like trying to think of like who's another child entertainer out there today. I literally can't think of anybody, but you know.
I know. She was kind of like honestly, she was like almost like the Miley Cyrus or the Demi Lovato, like a tween, you know, like a Disney tween, but without Disney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like not a show. She just does like songs and dances.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm really proud of her for coming out as queer. So like I have this text message with my my queer ladies. And I after you texted me, I texted that chat and was like, Jojo Siwa is queer. Jojo Siwa is queer. And then like I sent like a goodbye like Jojo Siwa gif or some shit. One of my friends was like, "Who is Jojo Siwa?" The other one was like, "I knew it. I knew it. I was waiting for this day." And then another one was like, "She's fucking annoying." So I got like kind of like mixed reviews on her. So like I think I have to probably formulate my own opinion on her at some point. I just like the only context that I have is like this is so niche, but I watched this do you watch RuPaul's Drag Race?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see Snatch Game where they did her where one of the queens imitated Jojo Siwa?
I might have.
That's like that's the only point of reference that I have for her. Like I've never seen her perform. Like, does she do her own shit? Like, does she make her own music and stuff? Or like what is her shtick?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think like it's nothing deep, right? Like it's nothing like she's not a fucking Beatle or
she's not like a poet laureate or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like she's not gonna I don't know. Who knows? She might transform into a beautiful butterfly. But as of now, it seems pretty like just like pop. And I think that, you know, she does kind of crazy outlandish things. Like I know she got a Tesla and she shrink wrapped it in like her face.
Can she drive?
Yeah, I think so. When 16?
Wait, what? She got a like
I mean, it doesn't stop Cardi B.
I mean, you're probably right. I mean,
she doesn't have a driver's license.
Oh, Cardi doesn't have a driver's license. I mean, that's
but she has like 5 cars.
Good for her. I mean, Offset's got to drive baby culture somewhere, you know? Like,
oh God.
The nannies, the chauffeurs got to drive her Ferrari around for her.
I know. What do you think culture is going to be in the fucking like, you know, Jeep Cherokee?
Oh yeah. They're not Jeep girls. They're a little more up class than that, but it's funny because one of my friends saw the Jojo Siwa news and goes like, would you get with Jojo Siwa? I said,
she looks hot when James Charles did her makeup.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
She just looks like, I was like, absolutely not. She looks like a child.
I mean, I think that oh my God, now I sound like a pedophile. Thanks a lot, Alex.
No. okay, so she's older, right? But my friend my friend goes, you just want to pull out that high ponytail, right, Al? And I was like, okay, she's young still. She's still 17, right? Let's get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's put that into consideration. But she just like I thought she was a lot younger than that. So that comes to a surprise to me that she's like actually can maybe drive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think one of the things I like about her is she is just a kid. Like sometimes you look at these kids, like my cousins, for example, and they never went through like the awkward blue eyeshadow phase, right? Like they just went immediately, all of a sudden they were Instagram models. And I was like,
Your cousins?
yeah. Because these kids, like, they have so much at their fingertips. I mean, I don't know. But if I were to guess, they like go on YouTube and like look shit up and they can like apply makeup and they look like adults.
Yeah, I mean that's like it's kind of sad in a way.
Yeah.
Maybe you're reliving your lost innocence now, quarantine. But that's something that we can definitely and will be catching up towards the end of our segment about Elizabeth and how she's trying to teach me to be Gen Z. So we will get there.
Don't you worry.
But let's talk about some big stuff that happened this week. So we took an extra week hiatus from you all, which I know you were all despondent.
All 11 of you were just crying.
Really upset that we left you hanging, but we wanted to make sure that we talked about our boy Sleepy Joe and Kamala. Oh my god, I always say her name wrong. I'm like the worst. Kamala Harris. We had a big day. Today is a new day for America, baby. No more Rudy Giuliani or Donnie Trump in the news anymore. It's done. They can go back to the cave that they crawled out from.
Go back to Florida. Enjoy, motherfuckers.
But I wanna ask you, Elizabeth, like, how are you feeling? Like, what are your thoughts? I mean, you and I come from similar backgrounds, so for those of you who don't know, our parents are like the shining stars of the Republican Party on Long Island, to put it mildly. And so, you know, I'm feeling like just relieved that we can go back to normalcy and I don't have to check the news and see wild things happening. How do you feel?
Yeah, definitely. Like I'm ready to be bored again, right? I'm ready for the new, like I'm also ready for just boringness. Yeah, I don't know what else I was going for that, but I'm just like so tired of the craziness. I had a funny interaction with my mom. Ooh, and Virginia. She had brought up the insurgency. Is that what we're calling it?
The domestic act of terrorism on our country.
Yeah, exactly. The domestic terrorist act that happened at the Capitol. So she brought that up, and I am of the mind, and I never obviously wished for any of this to happen, but I was like, you know what? I'm kind of glad it did, because now the people that supported him don't have a leg to stand on.
Literally.
Like, go home. Yeah. And so, and my mom was like, her response to my sentence was, Elizabeth, that's how you and I differ. People died. And I was like, yes, mom, it's very unfortunate that someone like, I probably shouldn't have said this, but I was like, it's very unfortunate that someone tasered their balls and had a massive heart attack and died. You know, like it wasn't the upper crust. And my mom was like, I think one bloodshed is too much. And that's why we're different. And that's why we voted for different people. So my mom just thinks like liberals are murderers. It sounds like.
I mean, just give us a bad rap. We got abortion, we got the death penalty, you know. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. I haven't talked to my parents. I'm like kind of not wanting to
Yeah.
interact. But that my ass is checking Facebook for Celeste's official Facebook post on everything that's happened. Like, I haven't seen the official post come out yet. Like, it's like the press release, because that's how you know. So yeah, she hasn't really posted in a couple of days. So I think she might be taking a little bit of a hiatus, which I think is good.
Yeah.
Because she's like, my mom is like a savage on Facebook, and I'm just like, she's not baiting people anymore. I think maybe they've accepted that this is the reality. And
They're
that,
mourning.
yeah. I was trying to think of in my head like what like was going on at the house, and all I could think about was the fact that like they're probably all talking to each other in the tone of yelling still, watching Fox News, and just, not knowing what to do with themselves.
Yeah.
Right?
My mom took off her Instagram and took off her Facebook.
Oh wow. So she's making
Yeah.
a statement.
So she's like, the conservative voice is muted.
Oh.
And I think my mom, I don't know, like I think sometimes social media can get too much.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And so it's good. I totally support stepping away and having a moment regardless.
Yeah. I agree. But I do think like that everyone deserves to have like their own opinion on things, right? Like, so I'll share with you all. I had a relative get mad at me because I blocked them on my comedy Instagram, because they started posting political things on my comedy stuff. And I got really mad because I love doing my comedy stuff and it brings me a lot of joy. So when I saw that, that triggered me to be like, what the heck? Like, I don't want this on here. Like, it's okay for me to like make fun of Trump and stuff, but like, I don't want you like asking all of this weird anecdotal shit in the comments. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then like to then text me after the fact and be like, it's my First Amendment right, I have freedom of speech, why are you deleting me and blocking me, put me back on. And I'm like, honey, freedom of speech does not apply to humans or corporations. Like, I don't have to take your shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's something that I struggle with, because it's like they ask me like stupid questions. It's like,
Yeah.
you're always a Republican, like what happened? And I'm like, what do you mean what happened? Like, I like became my own person. Like, that's what happened. Like, I like started dating women, and the pussy got to my head. I don't know what else to say.
That damn pussy.
That damn pussy got to my head, Elizabeth. And now this is where we're at.
Oh, thank God I've never gone near others.
But yeah, I do think that it's hard, and I'm happy that I have you to talk to and lament about, because I feel like we are definitely cut from the same cloth. Except I don't think Virginia is like as hostile as my mom is.
Yeah, definitely not. Like, I think mom knows. Well, also, I don't know, like, it's just also, it's a little unfair in a way because, like, I'm kind of still like, I'm sure my mom sits at home knitting her Republican sweater and she's just like, Elizabeth will turn around. She'll be older. She'll get babies. She'll take them to church. And then, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like my mom is still holding out hope. So she hasn't gone completely AWOL yet.
Totally.
But yeah, I don't know.
No, I kind of get that like sentiment too, except the sentiment that I get is like, if I did not move to California, that I would be straight, probably still a Republican, married with a couple of kids, the white picket fence, doing that whole thing. Like,
California sun, it just turns you.
It just turns you gay. Just turns you gay. But you know what? In actuality though, right? Like, I've known that I was gay since the 7th grade, right? There's nothing that was going to change that for me, right? I lived in Connecticut. If I lived in New York City, it would be the same thing. So like, it's just like a very warped thing that like, and then another thing that triggers me is the fact of like, you know, I got the don't forget where you came from. And I'm like, yeah, I don't, I remember where I came from. Like, that's why I left, right? Like, that's why I
Yeah.
like, moved on, and like, I'm starting my own life, and like, yeah, it's a hard thing being like the black sheep of the family,
Yeah.
right? When especially like I have a sister who's like a Trumper, a major Trumper, and it's like insane, right? She's just as hostile and crazy and a fanatic, right? My mom was like, I can't control your sister. She's loved Donald Trump since, you know, he was on The Apprentice. And
Oh
I was
God.
like, I thought about it. The Apprentice came out in like 2004 and she was 8 years
Mm.
old. So like that's like prime grooming age for him, right? 8.
I actually had dinner with the president,
Oh,
not when he was
our
president.
ex-president.
Our ex-president. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Finally say that. But when I was younger, my family knew him through something weird. And so we went to have dinner with him. And I remember being really nervous because he was on The Apprentice. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, like, you know what fork to use. Like
I picture you like baby Elizabeth with like lipstick and like maybe like a little blue eyeshadow, or like maybe Virginia told you to like tone it down a little bit because like you were gonna meet Donald Trump. So like, you know, easy with the makeup. Like we want you to like look mature, but like also a child, you know?
yeah, I was in a 3-piece suede suit.
Oh my god, that's beautiful. Do we have pictures of this thing?
You know what? We could unearth some.
We gotta unearth
We'll
them.
have to like, I'll have to dig them up. But I definitely had like a skirt and then a shell and then a jacket that were all suede and brown. And then I was wearing like really itchy stockings and like penny loafers.
No. Who wears penny loafers? I went to Catholic school, and the only reason why I had them was for school. You
Yeah.
had them because you were in the upper echelon of fucking life.
Yeah.
Thank you, Grandpa.
And so I go, yeah. And so I'm like, I talk to Donald Trump, and the thing he says to me is uh, he's like, oh, it's very nice to meet you. I hear you're like, and he mentions my grandfather's name, and he's like, I hear you're his granddaughter. And I was like, oh yeah, yeah. And he then says, you're gorgeous. And I was like, I must have been like, how old's your sister?
My sister was 8 when that happened.
No,
When
I know, but how old is she now?
she's 24.
Oh, okay. So I was like 10 or 12. And which is like even, you know what I mean? Like
No,
weird.
like you probably didn't even have your period yet, and he's like, you're
Yeah.
gorgeous.
It's okay for me to call JoJo Siwa hot, but it's a little weird. Like I have no intent behind my hot. I'm like, she's cute. And yeah, and Trump turns around and says to me, like, they should take your grandfather out to a stud farm so
Oh
that he can
God.
make more women like you. And I didn't even know what a fucking stud farm was. So I was like, Mom, what's a stud farm? And she kicked me under the table so hard.
Damn. Are you sure Mitch McConnell
Really
was there
over.
too? Are you sure that Mitch
What?
McConnell you sure Mitch McConnell wasn't there? Because I hear he likes horses too.
Hey, Mitchie.
Hey
What's
Mitch.
a stud farm? You want to show me?
You know, I'm sure he would.
Oh, I mean, he looks dead behind the eye. Do you think I can't imagine?
No, I think he's like dying from the outside though, for real though.
He has that Prince Philip look.
Oh God, that's another
Yeah.
one. He's like a walking skeleton.
Sorry to all our European watchers.
Sorry guys, you know, sorry. To all of our European viewers.
Yeah.
All like negative 3 of you. But before we move off of this topic, I have a couple of like little interesting tidbits from the inauguration that I think we should talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one is that our ex-president Donald Trump had a Diet Coke button that was installed in the Oval Office for when he needed an emergency doctor. Ooh, doctor, oh my God, Diet Coke.
I love this button. I am looking into implementing this button in my house.
For Jeremy, you and Jeremy.
Like if Jeremy could just show up with a can of Diet Coke on a silver platter at any moment for emergency Diet Cokes, I'd be down.
That's so wild. Like, okay, number one, like, how unhealthy right? You could imagine he was sucking these things down like he
Oh,
probably
he
had
had
like
like, it said
20 a
something
day
like,
or something, right?
yeah, it was crazy. I was like,
No, I mean I don't drink soda, but like
also,
that's
oh, oh, dust your shoulders off. You got a little dirt. Also, like, you know what's really sad about this whole thing
what.
is that, if Obama had a Diet Coke button, we would know how much it cost. And like it would be on the headlines, right? Like it would be like, oh my God, not only is he like the most golfing president, but he is also paid taxpayer dollars went to a Diet Coke button. But because it's Trump, we'll never know.
We won't. We won't. I mean, that's the double standard, right?
Yeah.
The next thing is that each president, when they leave, they get a china set of plates and forks, whatever you can get to commemorate the presidency. But Trump will not have a china collection.
Melania just didn't have the time.
She was
busy packing.
She was too busy taking care of it. And you know what? Trump, he hated China so much they didn't want to do a collection on him. So I get it. I get it, right?
I get it, man. I get it. I have never seen Melania look happier than she did leaving the White House yesterday.
Oh my God. You think she filed already or no?
No, I think she's gonna like wait. I mean, she's got that like sexy new prenup, postnup.
Postnup.
Yeah, so she changed her prenup right before, like that's why she didn't move into the White House the first time. Remember, like it took her a really long time to move into the White House.
It all makes sense.
Because she was waiting on Donald Trump to sign off on her new postnup.
Holy shit. She's a smart lady. I mean, for somebody who's like dumb, she's smart, right?
I know. Well, my personal favorite is just her war on Christmas.
Oh God, I don't know.
Like the recordings, that was so funny. But then it is kind of sad because it means that she won't like, when everyone was like, Melania's on our side, she also wants to murder him.
She's like, it's like blink twice if you're not okay, Melania. But you know what? I give her credit. I think she like she did not ask for this, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like we have to think, right? She was a model, she had it all. She could have had anybody. And like she could have never expected that she was going to be the first lady of our country, right? Like, could you imagine like shooting someone in lingerie and being like, well, there's our future first lady right there. Like, what the actual fuck?
Oh yeah.
So, she got dealt a really weird card.
Yeah.
But it's okay. And then the last thing that was like hot goss from the Trump side of the aisle was that Ivanka and Jared have moved into a condo in Miami. Welcome to Miami. Bienvenido a Miami. So,
I think they're such an odd couple. Like everyone, I definitely think Trump's children, with the exception of the newly engaged Tiffany.
She's engaged?
Yeah, it was so funny. She got engaged like the night before they moved out. And I literally think that all the photos look like, quickly, we're getting rid of the White House. Like we're not going to be allowed back at the White House. Like to get your photos.
Let's get your engagement pictures like at the White House.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They definitely planned that.
Yeah, so like Tiffany looked fine, her new bae looked fine. He looked like he wanted to murder Trump, to be honest. But then the rest of the family just looked like they were gonna cry. They know they're going to jail. I don't know, maybe Miami is like a nice intermediate place.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that Miami is a nice place for her and Jared and the children. But you know what? It's really interesting to me that like everyone is saying that Ivanka is a closet lesbian. And like, I don't necessarily, like, as somebody who is part of, or as Britney Spears says, at the LGBT community, like, I don't necessarily believe that she's a lesbian.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe. I mean, she's also fairly like, aren't they? Not that like you can't be a lesbian and Hasidic Jewish, but like. Isn't like they're Hasidic Jews, right?
No. They're Orthodox. They're not as Hasidic.
Oh, okay. I was confused.
They're not as like crazy fanatically Jewish as you thought.
Okay. So they're just like, they're conservatives. I don't get the lesbian vibe. I mean, she made great pantsuits when she was a fashion designer.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. But also there's this movie out there that people should watch called Disobedience, which is about two Hasidic Jew women, and one of them escaped, but they had a little fling, and it was like actually the best lesbian film I've seen in a really long time, centered around the Hasidic Jews.
I love how you wrap all of my spewings. You're like, I can relate this. Yes, Elizabeth, keep telling me.
Listen, you know that I love talking about Jews and like low key want to be Jewish. So like this is I want
high key.
High key. But you know what else, I want to be though? That we need to talk about?
Oh yes, quickly.
What else does Alex want to be?
Alex,
we're gonna talk about it quickly.
Yeah, Alex also wants to be Gen Z, I think. Like, or is it just the TikTok fame that you're after?
So I recently got on TikTok, everybody. Paradise_comedy. If you want to follow me and my other 14 followers.
Join us.
I started using it to produce content and I'm like obsessed with it. My friends are like, aren't you like a little old to be on TikTok, Al? Like, we're all like 30s plus. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, but the green screen and like all of this sort of graphic stuff, it's just so good. Like I've been doing TikToks for like a week now, and I like bought myself like a tripod because I'm like, I have all these ideas and like I'm gonna do all this creative stuff, and like so I texted Elizabeth today because I was watching a bunch of TikToks in my like For You whatever, and I was like, Elizabeth, what is a simp?
And I was like, I got you, girl. A simp is when someone either wants a relationship or they want sex. And so they're doing activities to get to the final destination. And that could be like, oh my God, babe, I got you coffee. Oh my God, like I did this for you. And then you're like, normally it's men, but I guess it could be women too. But you're like, this boy's been simping on me.
Oh my God. So after you said that, I was like, wow, so many girls could say that I was simping on them. Like I was just thinking back to like all of like the crazy things I used to do for people that I liked.
Who doesn't simp every now and then though? You've got to.
Wow.
Part of growing up.
What a time to be alive.
I still simp.
Yeah, I mean, well, but it's different for you, right? You have your person. I think I have to be aware of this because like when I do like, I mean, like I'm too busy to be dating right now because I'm like doing TikTok and like that's obviously taking priority in my life, but like I have to know about these things. So like what other things would you like tell people if they are like trying to be more like Gen Z? What would you offer as advice?
So I think as a millennial, and don't quote me on this because I'll be like, I never said that. But as a millennial, the main difference between Gen Z and millennials that I think is that Gen Z is like a lot of chaotic energy. And they don't even give a fuck. Like they're like here I feel like they're a little bit more anarchists. Millennials are like a little too stressed out. Like too much shit's gone down in our lives. And so we're like sitting at home with our antidepressants. And Gen Z is literally like throwing their antidepressants in a Pez dispenser on their way to the rally.
Wow.
So that's like, I just think I love the chaotic energy. I think too, Gen Z it's like kind of interesting because Gen Z is really PC about certain things. Like if you don't use inclusive language or if you, like say a slur, they have no problem canceling and calling people out, but they are a little bit more like, have you found your way onto messy TikTok?
Oh no. I don't think that TikTok has like
doesn't know you yet.
It doesn't know me yet, and that's okay. I'm like,
yeah,
we're getting to know each other.
It's just your first couple of dates, but yeah. So once you're on messy talk, it's like people will drag. They'll be like, "Here's my ex-boyfriend. He lives on the street, and this is what he did to me."
Why are people like this?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of appreciate the energy because it's like, it's definitely a lot of like more calling out of like poor behavior.
Accountability partners,
Accountability partners. But yeah, I mean, it's funny. I saw a general, what is it called? I saw some judge be like, don't show yourself filming felonies while on TikTok because she had just like done a case where the girl like poured glitter in a room or something. And that's like technically a felony because she went into her ex-boyfriend's house and like glitter bombed his whole house.
Oh my God.
She was like, don't film a TikTok.
And then that's evidence, and then you're guilty and in jail.
Yeah, so that's what I would leave. That's what I'm going to leave the podcast members with. Don't film yourself doing illegal, illicit activities. You will go to jail. You will be found.
You will found.
And then you'll be with like Trump terrorists, and I just don't want that for anyone.
And if we see you on TikTok doing anything illegal, we will report you to the FBI. That is our closing message from Elizabeth and Alex.
Yeah. The internet police are here.
We will find you and we will make sure that you go to jail.
And you serve justice.
That's justice, baby.
I think that's all I have to give our great audience.
I think that we killed it today, huh? All right. So until next time, our fateful viewers, this is Alex and Elizabeth out. Episode number 3.
Oh.
Deuces to you bitches.